Here with Christina Hibbert. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mark, congratulations on the book. This is How We Grow.
Yes.
You won the award. It's your first effort. Major congratulations.
Thank
well
you.
received. Tell us which award you won specifically.
I won a silver medal for the best adult nonfiction ebook. So.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Book's fantastic. Give us some of the inspiration behind it.
Okay. It's a memoir, so it's about the time in my life. In 2007, my sister and brother-in-law both died within 2 months of each other.
Sorry.
And thank you. They had 2 children, and I was pregnant with my 4th baby. And we all of a sudden inherited my nephews, and I gave birth. So we had 3 kids, and all of a sudden we had 6 kids. And I am also a psychologist, and I specialize in grief and loss and parenting and pregnancy and postpartum. And so here I was, sort of the doctor becoming the patient, going through this really difficult time with my family.
You specialized in that prior to these events in your life.
Yes.
So manifest destiny in some ways.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It was really putting what I preach into practice,
Wow.
so to speak.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that inspired you to write this book, and you worked on it for how long?
4 years.
Okay.
Really pretty dedicated for
Lengthy.
4 years, and now it's out of me and in the book, which is really kind of great because now it can help other people.
Yeah.
I call it a memoir with a self-help feel. Because I'm a psychologist, there's a lot of lessons and psychology insights mixed in with the book. So each chapter sort of opens with an insight or a lesson that I've learned, and then it goes back into the story.
Okay.
And so that it kind of weaves those lessons throughout the story. So I feel like the readers really learn some new things as they go and as they grow with the book. That's sort of how I set it up, so they could learn and get a great story as well, a true story.
In terms of who you are as a person, you gave us a little bit of your background, but it's compelling to me that you had this life event but chose much earlier to practice in that field, both by helping others. But give us a little bit more about you, about who Christina is. Right.
Well, I mean, really, when you ask me that, the first thing I think of is I'm a mom, because obviously I have 6 children now. And I have 4 teenage sons right now. They're all grown and, getting older. My oldest is graduating this week, in fact.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that takes up a big part of my life. I'm also married to a wonderful husband who's been great not only through the whole experience that I write about, but also through the whole book writing process, which was very challenging with 6 children. And I also have a psychology practice part-time. I had to go really very part-time with all these children and with trying to write. So it's a pretty busy life, and now I'm working on my 2nd book, so I've become more of a full-time writer, and I still see clients just a couple hours a week, but mostly I'm really a stay-at-home mom because I do everything at home.
So rested, so well put together.
Oh, that's because
amazing.
That's because I've had a break for a few days being here in New York City.
Here. So we can also get that out there and win an award.
Makeup is a great thing too. Yeah.
You mentioned self-help book. You mentioned this kind of growth modality for folks and to kind of learn, if you will, from it. But give us a sense, in your opinion, you won this award. It obviously is set apart in many ways. It excels in many ways. What sets it apart specifically? What makes it that award-winning quality, in your opinion? The
thing that I've heard from the readers, because they're the ones that obviously I really want them to resonate with the book, is that they feel that it's really real. That they liked the fact that I'm a professional, and there are a lot of books by psychologists, and there are a lot of self-help books, but not a lot of books by people in my field who expose themselves and show their vulnerability as much as I do in this book. Because, it's not me sitting here saying, this is what you should do, reader. It's me saying, this is what I was faced with, and this is how I handled it, and you can take what you want from it.
Personal experience, relatable.
Yeah.
You kind of sharing what's happened. Yeah.
Right. So I've been really surprised and honored to find that many people have read it a couple of times and have marked it and, referenced it for later with the life lessons, so they can go back and use it at other times in their life. Yeah. And because it covers a lot of different topics, obviously, motherhood and loss, and, even in the subtitle, self-esteem and self-worth. And relationships and family and all of these things and parenting. And so people really, and suicide and death. And so people come to it with their own perspective, but there's so much to the story that most everybody can find some way that they connect with the story.
Oh yeah, the list you just went through, there's a lot of heavy items.
Yeah, there's a lot more in there too. I mean, it really is there. It covers a lot of those big topics. So.
And blending your practice, forgive the personal nature of the question, but
No, it's okay.
because the life experience you've described are so impactful.
Yeah.
Were you able to blend in some of your training and some of your practice to those real life experiences? And do you feel that there might be a kind of a nice match there, a nice even kind of symbiosis that gives it that successful nature?
I believe so. That's the thing. It's also, like I said, on the one side, it's me as a professional exposing myself. On the other side, it's me as a person, a human being that has this great knowledge and wisdom that I've gained through my profession. So there are a lot of very practical tips and hands-on life lessons, and also psychological tools. In the story, I go to therapy, and I end up taking an antidepressant for a while to get through things, and I have to figure out, how do I go through grief? And there's a lot of things that other people can relate to in that way and learn from, just because of what I have learned myself, and also what I know as a professional, as a psychologist.
Very organic, very, very true. It's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
We kind of covered this, but would you like to expand in terms of who you wrote it for? Was it someone specific? Was it something specific? Was there a special target involved in terms of an audience, or perhaps another person who you wanted to help get through what you had already gone through or were going through?
Right. Exactly what you said. I wanted to help others who were going through similar experiences to me. I really felt like I knew that it would resonate with women and mothers especially. Yeah. But I have found that many men and fathers and even, single people and younger people, and I've had women as old as 85 say that they really have enjoyed the book and wish they had it when they were younger. Just to know that you're not the only one that struggles, and we all can relate to that. I don't care how old you are or who you are or what your sex or gender is. It's we can all relate to these big life challenges.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. Folks have read it. You've won the award. You're now the credibility goes up. A lot of exposure to different people, different groups, if you will. Mm-hmm. Give me a specific story in terms of impact. Can you share something compelling that someone who's read the book, gone through the experience, in terms of sharing with you what you put out there from yourself, as you said, a specific example of something?
Sure. I actually have two, if you don't mind.
Please.
Just recently, it's very ironic, but just about a month ago, my very good friend died. She actually took her life, and she had 3 children. And those 3 children are best friends with my 3 children. And so now her husband's reading the book, and she had been reading it at the time, and he's reading it now. And he's said that he finds that he can relate to me and to what my husband and I and our family had been through, and that he feels like, it's helping him to know that we are similar in that way. And we're very close, and we're helping him now with his children and going through that. So that's been a recent experience. I've had a lot of readers who have found, have sent me very heartfelt messages that they've been touched in some way, or thank goodness I know that I'm not the only one. Or, but the thing that I really think of is my oldest son, who's graduating this week. He read it. I didn't even know he'd read it. And he told me a few months ago that he read the book, and that he learned 2 things. That one, he learned that he realized what I had been through as his mother, and it helped him kind of appreciate what I had been through. Sure. And also it helped him appreciate what his 2 brothers, who are now adopted, our nephews who are his cousins, who are now his brothers, what they have been through. And that it made him want to be a better brother to them. Oh. And so it changed how he related with them and what he did with them, so that he could try to be there for them more.
Oh, wonderful.
So for me, that was the best, because you asked who I wrote it for, and I guess I originally wrote it for myself, just to kind of help me heal. And then I wanted it, secondly, to write it for my family, so that someday when they were older, that they could read it and know what we really went through, and that it could help them heal. And then third, for the readers, being, what I said earlier. So it was great to see that my son already, he's the oldest, and I'm hoping that the other children will sort of follow in the footsteps and learn something from it, or find some value in it for themselves.
Of his own volition, you didn't ask him.
I didn't even know he was reading it. I saw it in his room, but I just thought somebody left it there. I didn't.
Interested in what
a teenage boy? Who's going to read this? You know,
This sounds like a wonderful boy.
They're great. They're wonderful children. They've been through a lot, obviously, and they've had to grow just like I have. So, and the story shares a lot of their growth too. So
let's bring it back to Christina a little bit.
Okay.
And not to be selfish, but this is a big thing, and you won the award, and it's a happy occasion.
Yes.
What does winning the award mean to you?
I've given that some thought. To me, it just, because it's so personal, it was a scary book to write and put out there. When I released it, when I published it, it was sort of this panic of, oh my gosh, what have I done? I put all this personal stuff out there into the world. So to know that not only the readers have responded so well and the reviews have been so great, but to know that, you know, that other writers and publishers respect the book, it not only shows me that it's like another level of validity to our experience, but also to my writing, because it's my first book, and to know that other people find it to be good writing and a good book it really does kind of give me that validity as a writer that I've never had, because I'm brand new at it.
As it should. And
yeah.
Quite a statement in terms of how talented you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where do we go from here? What's next for Christina? What's on the horizon?
It's always busy at my house with 6 children, and
that way.
always something going on.
In terms of your creativity?
Yes, in terms of my creativity,
or,
I need naps to get to the creativity, but I just finished writing and submitted my second book with New Harbinger Publications.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so they actually contacted me through the process of writing this book. That book came about, and so that book will be released in March of 2015.
Wish you best of luck.
And I'm working on a proposal with Norton Publishing for a third book right now. And I still do my private practice a little bit. I have a website and blog that's getting more and more popular, drchristinahibbert.com, and my YouTube channel. I do videos, and that's kind of how I spend my quote-unquote free time, which is limited. But
where is this free time?
It's only when the kids are at school. And
what is this Dr. Hibbert's free time?
I don't know. It's very limited, like I said, but I use it wisely.
Well, we want to say congratulations again. Thank you for coming, and it's great to meet you. And
thank you.
Good luck with wherever this goes, and the next 1 and 2 books after that. And
right.
It sounds to me like you're going to go on and do many more. So best of luck.
I hope to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Mark.
You
Thank
as well.
you.